You said we've got over 30 people interested in this, and it looks like we've got that number, so thanks for everyone for coming out. My name's John Carroll. I am on the officiating advisory group. I have to remember the name of it, it's changed names a few times, the Indoor Advisory Group for Hockey WA. I've also played and umpired and coached at national level for WA, for indoor and outdoor over the last 15 years. So got asked to put on a bit of a talk about umpiring indoor hockey. So the plan for tonight is, the first part of it, we're going to be talking about not necessarily indoor hockey specifically, but umpiring techniques, levels of management and tools that you have to implement those levels of management, communication and preparation with your other umpire, and positioning on the indoor court. From there, we're going to go through a few rules for indoor, raised ball, dangerous play, including drilling, and indoor specific rules that there may be different interpretations, obstruction, letting people move around the court, that we're going to go through. So for the first part of it, I'm going to go over the umpiring type things, the positioning, communication, levels of management, that side of things. And then as we go along, I'm going to use these fine guys and girls to help me demonstrate some of the rules and the interpretations. So we've got Anna, who is currently in the Australian indoor team, Western Australian team. I think you've won player of the tournament at last tournament, one before that. Lauren Austin, who's played at 2 World Cups, has won player of the tournament on a couple of occasions. I can't remember how many. Now, forgive me, I don't know your background. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Not much. But, played state since 15s, coached by this amazing coach here at 18s, played 21s for 4 years now, I think. Yeah, so.
Did you play over in England?
Yeah, played over in Scotland, played indoor over there, and a good comp over there, and I hope that's what I hope this comp here in Perth can get to, like it is in Europe.
I played 18s and 21s nationals last year in the 18s Australian squad and a shadow for the 21s Oz team, and also won player of the tournament at the recent 18s comp. So.
Great. All right, now, who here has played indoor hockey before? Nice and high, show of hands. Brilliant. Who hasn't played indoor hockey before? Is that right? Sort of? That's fine. Who has umpired indoor hockey before? Nice and high. Who hasn't umpired indoor hockey before? So of the people that haven't umpired indoor hockey before, who's interested in umpiring indoor hockey for this season? Okay? Yeah? Brilliant. So tonight what I plan to do is send you away with a set of tools that you can implement umpiring indoor, umpiring outdoor, and some of these tools are transferable to other sports as well if you play those. So a lot of times, you know, you rock up to a game, someone throws you a whistle, here you go, and you're like, oh, I don't really know what to do. And from there it can only go south. So what I really want to do tonight is give you some confidence to go into any game that you're going to be umpiring and go, right, I've got this, I know how to control this game, I know what to do in these particular scenarios, and honestly, if you've got that sort of information, you can only go up from there. It's pointless for me to go out there and teach you, okay, this is raised ball, this is dangerous play, and you not know how to umpire that, or what to do about it, or how to stop it happening, or how to escalate it if it keeps happening. Would you agree? So, a lot of you have played, has everyone played hockey or umpired any sort of hockey, yeah? Yeah? So, hope so. It's going to be a real long night otherwise. So everyone knows foot, right? Ball hits your foot. Okay? What's a typical decision for that? What would you do? What would you do?
Blow the whistle.
Blow the whistle? What? Perfect. Okay. So would you consider that a low sort of, you know, impact, you know, effect on the game? It just happens. You know, bumps into your foot, back of the stick. So you blow your whistle. Now, what about if, same infringement, foot, say you're dribbling the ball at me, and I go, and I'm not the goalkeeper. That's pretty bad, isn't it? Right, so what would you do? What would you do in that instance?
Give them a warning and blow a whistle.
Yep. So, loud whistle. What about, same scenario, you're dribbling the ball at me. Okay, yep.
Alright.
Ball goes past. I don't worry about kicking the ball, I just kick you instead. Alright? Get into radio. Alright, so what would you do there? Yeah? Green? Yellow? Yeah. Go green to start with. Feeling lenient. Right. So that's the first few. So these are levels of management. Low, medium, high. And underneath these levels are your tools. How you implement those levels of management. So I want you to start yelling out other tools that you can use during the game. Okay? And I'm going to come up with some odd ones that you might not think of. And we'll put them in these columns. So, what's a tool that you can use while you're umpiring?
The whistle.
Yeah. Just blow a little whistle? Just a soft whistle?
No, they haven't come.
Yeah, so soft. What was the second? Who said the second? Was it
Oh, loud.
you? Yeah, loud whistle. What else? Start yelling out.
Your voice.
Yeah. So, talking to the players. We've also got warning, which is with your voice.
Upgrades.
Upgrades. Brilliant. So what's an upgrade for those of you who... Lexi, what would an upgrade be? What would you consider an upgrade?
so-
Give me a scenario where you'd upgrade something.
If, say, a person is attacking the circle and it's a really bad tackle, easily, if it's outside the D, upgrade it to a short corner.
Perfect. So you upgrade it so it's not an infringement or a penalty right where the penalty was. If it's inside 25, you upgrade it to a penalty corner. Perfect. What's another one? What's another... Yeah, don't try and look away. What's another tool that you could use while you're umpiring? Yeah, you're going next. Don't think you got away with it.
Yellow and red cards.
Yeah, perfect. You did two. I reckon you stole hers.
Yeah.
What's your mate's? There you go. What's the next one? Alright, so you see how we get stuck with, soft and loud whistle, roughly the same, loud whistle over here again, verbal warnings, upgrades and cards, alright? So at the moment we've got 9 tools up there, right? Okay? There's a couple of things that you need to be considering. No advantage. So, everybody, I am assuring you, you've played in a game where it all starts to get a bit ragged. There's a couple of bad tackles in there, everyone's getting a bit chirpy, right? One way of slowing that down is don't give anyone any advantage. Blow every single free hit. Slows it right down. You do that for 5 minutes, and you discuss this with your umpire before the game. We'll go through that a bit later. Slows it right down. Everyone knows. Even just do it for 2 minutes. Slow it right down. All right. Now, when we took this talking one, you can talk to the players. You can talk to the captains. If you're running past the bench, you can talk to the bench. You can talk to, if you're playing at a high enough level, you've got your technical officials, and you can talk to them. Okay, so you can talk to a lot of different people. What else? Any other left field suggestions on how to... Physical position. Physical positioning. Perfect. I'll put this in a separate column. So positioning. If I am the umpire on this side of the court, okay, so we're sitting in the middle of the court, and the ball's at the other end of the court, do you think I should be standing here? No. Okay, so your positioning is a tool as well. Has anyone else got any more tools? What about you? I'll put you on the spot. Yeah? Alright. That's a good start. But what you need to be thinking about is how do I implement these tools? And I won't bore you with all the other tools. that you get at higher levels and what you can do. But what you want to think about is, how do I put these into practice, okay? And you want to be working from this side of the board that way, okay? You don't want to start a game and a minute in, go to that. It can happen, okay? Players are stupid, they do silly things. It can happen, but what you would want to do is first, if you see something happening, soft whistle, loud whistle, have a chat to them, have a chat to the captain. Even just running past, go, look mate, number 7 over there, do you want to have a word before I have to? Yeah, okay, off he goes. Blow time, bring the captain and the player in. Fellas, I warned you, okay, I don't want to see this again, all right? Start upgrading penalty corners. You've got the warning, you've got loud whistles, okay? So now you've given him effectively 7 different warnings, okay? And escalating before you have to get to there. You've given him every chance to change the way that they're playing before you have to start sending people on, okay? So I'm not saying ignore them, and sometimes you do skip this one, and go straight to there, depending upon the infringement. But I just want you guys to be thinking that you've got a lot of tools in your toolbox that you can use to influence the style of play that you're umpiring. So, with that in mind, I'm going to start as you arrive at the ground, things that you should be doing. So, if I'm umpiring with Anna, okay, I would expect Anna to be there 20 minutes before the game, half an hour before the game. Depends on what level you're umpiring. At a national level, you would want to be there at least half an hour beforehand. You might drive to the ground with your fellow umpire, you might be discussing things. What are some of the things you would be discussing? I know you've been away, so what would you discuss?
You'd probably discuss like how you're first going to handle the game.
So, management. What is another one? For me, from you?
Like where you want to blow and like
Yep.
where the line is.
Zones of control. Very good. Does everyone know that's exactly what you were thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Didn't know the word.
Definitely.
Alright, terrible drawing of indoor hockey field because the D's are too small. But, zones of control. Very similar to outdoor hockey. Oh, man, that's a terrible one. Did everyone see? Yes, not much better. So, I'm just going to hash out where umpire 2, zone of control is. Sorry? Oh, sorry. Yeah, just like, circles no man's land. Just do whatever you want to do in there. So, does everyone understand why I've drawn it? I'll get over here. Why I've drawn it like this? Yeah? If the ball's down here, okay, and I'm umpire number 2, if the ball's down here, it's likely that you've got a million players in the way. And even if the umpire number 1's in the perfect spot, just here, put the 1, if you can draw 1 upside down, there's no chance they're going to see everything. So you need to come down and have a look at that. So that's your zone of control. Okay? You don't want to really be blowing much inside the D. On occasion, if you've discussed it with your other umpires, one thing I like to do, if I'm umpire number 1, the ball's leaving my D and something happens and it's a 16, by all means blow it. If it's inside the D, knock yourself out if I haven't seen it. But again, it comes down to how you're going to manage it and talk to your other umpire. By the same token, I want umpire number 1 down here looking into my D and seeing what's going on. So what's something else that you could talk about? Signalling, yep. So we'll walk around the court and talk about that in a minute. What else would you be talking about as an umpiring team? You haven't answered the question yet?
Like anything to wind the cart ball? Like,
Yep. Yep. So, specifics. Like what? What's something that you would think of in a game?
Maybe like stick checks or
Yeah.
stick fielding.
Yeah, perfect. Has anyone else got anything else that you'd be talking about? No? Brilliant. All right. So, we're going to go for a walk around the court and talk about positioning. But what I want to really emphasise is that when you walked in here, okay, a lot of you would have thought, right, umpiring. Well, turned up, I have a whistle, we are good to go. Yeah? Is that not? Oh, hang on, cards. Is that not a fair assessment of what you thought umpiring was? Yeah. Do you reckon it's going to make it easier if you've got all these tools on what you do when you're on the court, and you've got all of this talk with your other umpire, even just a 5-minute chat before the game, okay? You go, right, I'm going to umpire with Oz. So with our positioning, I'm going to come all the way down to here, okay? Because I know that they're going to be defending this end, so I'm going to come and help you there. Oz, I reckon this is our zones of control. I might move that one over a little bit because I'm going to be so far down here. I can talk about that. Well, this team, okay, I've umpired this team before. You know, they do a lot of violent, sort of rough stuff. We just need to keep an eye on it. We still go through our levels of management in our toolbox, but I just need to keep an eye on it, okay? The other thing, I'm going to be standing all the way down here, okay? So make sure you're having a look for me about on the half line, and I won't signal until you give me some eye contact, all right? So you've gone through all of this. Do you reckon that now you're feeling more confident that you can control the game? Yeah? Is everyone feeling more confident now that you understand what the other umpire is going to be doing, what you're going to be doing, and that you're all on the same page? Does that make you feel more confident? Now, if I came up to you and I were umpiring an international match tomorrow, okay? Yeah, does that sound like a good idea? Do you feel now more confident that you might be able to do that with me? Because we've talked about this? Okay? Now, if she can umpire an international hockey match with me again tomorrow, so stand up so everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about. She's going to umpire an international game with me tomorrow because she feels confident that she knows exactly how we're going to umpire. Because in about 5 minutes, we're going to walk around the court, talk about positioning, okay? Talk about specific rules, okay? And you're going to walk away going, yeah, I could definitely do that. I could umpire those two tomorrow. Yeah, maybe not that one. But this is what we're trying to do here. Umpiring isn't as simple as just turning up and umpiring. For playing, do you guys train when you play? Yeah? You've been to training before? I hope so. Okay? This is similar to training, okay? You can't just walk into a situation where everybody else on the field, it's 6 on 6, okay? There's 12 people on the field, a couple on the bench that have trained their hearts out for this. You can't just turn up and just go, we're off, okay? You need to do some preparation and have a little bit of a think about how you're going to do it. Okay? Does everyone understand that? Are there any questions on what we've just gone through? No? Any questions? No? Brilliant.